This video is intended to be an in-depth description of a light blade talisman named Sovereign. I will start with the main blade banding consisting of Tiger's Eye and tourmalated black quartz. Tiger's Eye is a very strong stimulation alignment of the base, sacrum, and solar plexus to confer a very strong balanced lower three chakra column of the chakra column meridian matrix, and hence the employment of my crude chakra stick map will help be a visual guide for this little in-depth tour of this little device. The black tourmaline in the quartz works to be a neutralized accelerator of this frequency current through the natural blade banding of the device. And the black tourmaline actually works to purify any excess radial energy and ground it through the base, the Earth stars, into the Earth meridian matrix for reprocessing. So then the neutrality of quartz will accelerate the current, so it's a neutral acceleration of that purification through the Tiger's Eye filter for the primary blade band. Next, the blade band transitions into the transmutation blade band consisting of smoky quartz and hematite in sequence, going up like so, going over here, and closing a circuit right back to here. Smoky quartz and hematite are exceptional for transmuting any negative energy, as well as any kind of negative dense energy being filtered and buffered and transmuted through the base chakra into the Earth stars into the Earth meridian matrix for reprocessing. Thereby, to put it in simplistic terms, it produces an etheric Teflon vibration that no densities, internal or external, can actually stick to the field because they're constantly being reprocessed and transmuted and grounded into the Earth. The hematite is the iron-based mineral that has a very strong grounding pulling of excess stray energies of any kind of radial frequency this emanates, and is a strong grounding through the base. Smoky quartz also has a very strong purification grounding and arcing of energy that purifies the entire energy center. So you can think of the combination also being like energetic composting, where it takes all the excess stray energies, grounds it into the meridian matrix for reprocessing, to once again explain that concept, so that nothing can really stick to the field of stagnancy, so to speak, under that filtration. Then continuing up this top blade band where the necklace will hang into right here is lepidoite and clear quartz to accelerate the lepidoite. Lepidoite is a potassium lithium-based stone that causes a very soothing frequency through the entire field, which works as a perfect antithesis to such a high earth and fire yield of the lower three stimulation to bring the oasis of calm into play at the very top apex as the energy completes its circuit. And the main engine of the device, if you would, is this golden healer quartz sphere, which has a lovely gold white light Christ frequency activation that aligns one's heart to the heart of creation. So that would be like the main source emanation device running through this whole little light blade talisman. Next on the blade face, this right here, as can be seen, is a rose quartz pyramid, which rose quartz is a very powerful pink ray healing frequency of divine love. And in tandem with that pyramidal concept, a natural formation of Libyan gold tektite right here, as can be seen right here, makes a sharp radial focus of these energy points. So if this device is worn like so, with this backside towards the host, or the recipient of this device, wielder of this frequency, these two focal points make a very intensive lateral charge around the device. Since the primary wire runs the current through these two focus points, I'll focus the love emanation as well as the Libyan gold tektite in tandem. So it's almost like it has two pyramidal energy sharpened focuses of radial energy worn horizontally. Libyan gold tektite is an amazing stone of antiquity from ancient Egypt, utilized by pharaohs of old to be the central power pieces of their breastplates, or their central energy power pack, if you would, to charge their heroic regalia of great high magic. And Libyan gold tektite has a very strong, intensive stimulation to the sacrum and the solar plexus, being a cardinal fire elemental frequency, while in tandem being a storm elemental full light body activator. It's very successful for basically banishing the blues from the auric field through high yields of enthusiasm, as well as intensive manifestation focuses that is pretty phenomenal in the mineral kingdom. And it's very much a cosmic-oriented gold ray cousin to moldavite. This moldavite right here between these two pyramidal energy focusers is a fantastic green ray stone of one of the wonders of the mineral kingdom, actually, that has a very intensive green ray storm activation that connects one's heart of creation to their highest dharmic path. So we can think of it as a way to have like a direct frequency to put the one's personal heart in touch with their higher divine blueprint, or their etheric factory settings, if you would, before implantations and any kind of different various conditionings or wounds affected the total operating system potential of the energy field, which is very dramatic for synchronizing one's life into one's divine purpose. That could be rather destructive, ungoverned, because the rapid transformation this stone is quite infamous for can almost result in semi-chaotic, life-changing events to put one in touch with their true dharmic purpose by basically dissolving the false self matrix of the ego mind identity towards their higher spiritual configuration. So obviously, the aspect of utilizing that frequency is very useful in tandem with a contained circuit to transmute and stabilize the entire powerful radial this energy this produces, and to mitigate all the stray chaotic energies that would be in dramatic transformation of spiritual connotation by having the stabilizations of earth, fire, water, wind, and the excess grounding of these internalized, externalized negativities from stirring up the bucket or churning up the hidden corners of the auric field that are required to be in one's true divinity. This down here, the very tip, is fulgurite. This is petrified lightning. Petrified lightning is the power of lightning caught in sand that carries that cosmic jolt of energy of the power of lightning, quite literally, which dramatically intensifies the entire chakra calm and very stimulating on a more practical sense for physical energy and prana, and has been utilized by shamans in times immemorial for massive intensification of one's prayers, to put one in touch with the divine, to intensify one's prayers through creation. And it's a very powerful light body activation frequency that has a very strong stimulation to the entire electromagnetic spectrum of the chakra column, the nerve ganglia grounded into the physical body, to have the full intense energy from top to bottom and vice versa, much like a lightning strike, how that works. This right here is turquoise. Turquoise is a lovely stone of wholeness utilized by First Nation indigenous medicine men, magic men, if you want to say so. And it's a very strong concentration of earth, fire, water, and wind, but through the flu ray focus. So it has a very powerful elemental spectrum that stabilizes one's truth and the perception of one's conscious self to be in touch with their natural spirituality of who they really are. A very effective stone of great antiquity and also great utilization. It has legends across the world of being also a great stone of balance. For example, Mongolians would utilize turquoise in the bridles of their horse so they wouldn't fall off their horses. It has great magical connotations for being a stone of clarity and truth all across the world, basically, even utilizing ancient Egypt, of course, just like this guy, and as well as the pyramidal concept right here. Hence, this is a semi-Egyptian themed aspect of this as well. This right here is seraphinite. Seraphinite is named after the seraphim archangels. It's a green ray stone of seraphic energy imbuement to the auric field, which takes the entire chakra column actually and soothes and heals the entire frequency bandwidth, and has a very powerful seraphic broadcasting to the entire cellular matrix. So the respiration of this kind of green ray focus will etherealize the blood throughout the entire circuit of the human operating system, or the chakra column, and make a very powerful seraphic energy imbuement of the archangel realms, which is very advantageous in every aspect possible. So a lovely stone of healing, and one of the more dominant healing stones of our timeline, is seraphinite. To further augment that seraphinite is infinitite. This is a very special seraphic variety of serpentine that has the typical tropes of utilizing the serpentine to have a very strong kundalini activation, which actually activates the entire chakra column to a higher frequency level. And the infinitite actually has special frequency alteration to normal serpentine that's very much related to the frequency of how seraphonite actually broadcasts to really repattern any crystallized filters that would interfere with the light body anchoring from the lower chakras and really decrystallize any habitual patterns in the emotional, mental, physical bodies in tandem. So a very lovely stone of full Kundalini activation, just like this guy as well, the seraphonite that is, and in tandem works very successfully to stimulate Kundalini and clear any kind of outmodeled patterns that are interfering with one's true divine template, light body activation, and their physical avatar. Down here is selenite, the white right here on both sides of the cedar wood core. This wood is actually cedar wood, which comes from my lovely backyard. And cedar wood is a very lovely stone of ancient magic utilized by Solomon the Wise to actually build parts of his temple. He was known as a very great wizard in history. Very fun fact. So cedar has many magical connotations, also has a less dense frequency bandwidth opposed to oak, so the energy can flow very nicely with a lot of magical connotations. I digress, as usual in these videos. The selenite right here is an intrinsic part of the design of this device to take the entire frequency output, harmonize, amplify, and purify it in tandem. So as energy runs through the entire circuitry of this device, it runs through this selenite filter in tandem to, once again, amplify, purify, and harmonize the entire frequency output. While selenite by itself has a lovely stimulation to the 6th, 7th, and non-physical chakras to be a key to the higher self, the one's higher spiritual blueprint knowledge. So that's like the basic aspect, but in utilization to a complex device, that's where it really shines as an effective harmonizer, amplifier, and purifier. In tandem with the black, orange, green, and blue kyanite spectrums. Kyanites rapidly transfer energies very quickly from the entire system, which also works as another layer of etheric Teflon, if you would, to make sure the receptive frequencies are being filtered as well as projective frequencies of one's intention building this device. So in tandem, the black kyanite will directly ground excess energy, and the orange kyanite will, of course, stimulate the sacrum to its higher astral configuration. The green kyanite will put one in like rapid heart transfers to one's higher true spiritual self, as well as blue kyanite for the prefrontal lobes, the left-right hemisphere, can actually rewire pathways to an idyllic prefrontal lobe configuration, aka third eye. And so the tandem of those four onyx to selenite is quite essential for making very rapid transfers of energy to one's highest spiritual energy centers, as well as being a very energy reactive situational device when in play on the wielder of this device to have a very divine intervention, higher self, reactive energy depending on situation, so it can rapidly bridge and transfer what exactly needs to be needed at any given moment by the wielder's highest good in accordance to their highest spiritual path. Then over here, this will be the main hood, where there will be golden leather installed right here to be a further color therapy to have another focus of the solar plexus. Hence, sovereign is a concept of power and being strengthened in one's field and integrity. Hence the name of this archetypal device. The crystalline ignition order honors that concept. And right here is lapis lazuli, a stone of antiquity from ancient Egypt utilization, and a very powerful 5th, 6th wind elemental stimulation that has a very powerful past life regression capacity, as well as psychic center higher mind stimulation. So its utilization for thousands of years is quite notarized in humanity's usage, and has a very lovely inner queen, inner king, highest sovereign activation energy, which of course works wonderful in tandem with such a complex device. And for all this really intensive, fun, compact energy, the stabilization of Earth with red jasper stabilizes the root to the higher configuration, and very slow and steady diffusion of the strong base chakra red ray. Blue lace agate works the perfect antithesis to the red ray stabilization of red jasper to stimulate the stabilized 5th chakra, so one's truth is very stable and very accessible to one's conscious self. And that'd be a water elemental frequency. This right here is mahogany obsidian. Mahogany obsidian is a very lovely version of volcanic glass that has a little bit of brown in its matrix, as can be seen right there. And it's a very powerful clearing of the base and sacrum, particularly from any kind of abuse trauma patterns that get caught in the cellular trauma, as well as the formative year traumas that can really be hard set in the crystalline template of one's ego mind identity. And it's very powerful for purifying and transferring these energy patterns out of the system in tandem with this entire complex device to really move that energy from a very deep level and work also as an etheric bodyguard, a very shielded emanation that really can absorb a lot of negativity externally particularly and make a proper discharge and safe bypass through the system into the Earth Meridian Matrix for reprocessing once again. And this right here is ruby and zoisite. Ruby and zoisite is a fantastic natural configuration from South Africa that has actually the lovely red ray intensity of ruby, which is the most intensive red ray stone in the mineral kingdom, hence its fame for utilization of red ray application is quite famous, makes it a precious stone. And ruby, since it has such a powerful, dense atomical structure that makes the red ray, has a very intense, vivid enthusiasm, base chakra activation energy. But in tandem with the green zoisite, it makes a lovely heart-mind coherence. So when you have the trifecta of the enthusiasm of the red ray optimized, in tandem with the heart-mind coherence that zoisite produces, it makes a very powerful trifecta of the base, the heart, and the third eye to live in the highest true self. So you can think of this as a vibrational antidote to really anchor one's highest, truest, enthusiastic self into reality. And to further stabilize this frequency, the lower three, is fire agate. Fire agate is a lovely stabilizing version of the frequency filter that's complementary to tiger's eye, that stabilizes the base, sacrum, and solar plexus in the fire elemental spectrum. And very much the happy, enthusiastic, in-the-body experience and zest for life increasing frequency in tandem with everything else so far described. And further stabilization of this concept would be moss green agate, which is another water elemental frequency stabilizer like blue lace agate on the other side that lovely stabilizes the fourth and first chakras to really be able to stabilize one's true etheric blueprint factory setting through the system in a very slow, stable way. So when it comes to the jaspers and agates utilized here, as it runs the frequency through this device, those filters will stabilize the elemental spectrums to make sure the frequency is a very stabilized pattern with all these activation points to really have a strong stability aspect to the entire frequency output that is in the wielder's best interest, obviously. Because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And this right here is shungite, quite the in vogue black ray stone of this timeline. Shungite is a carbon-based stone, also known for being the most impeccable EMF radiation diffuser in the mineral kingdom, like a charcoal filter, if you would, that has a lovely purification of the subtle DNA that does not allow subtle, like 5G, for example, things of that nature, to really stick to the field. Also works as another etheric insulator by, like many of the black ray stones mentioned in this video, makes a strong bypass through the system, grounds it through the system, and reprocesses in the Earth Meridian Matrix so that the stagnancy of these different frequencies cannot stick to the field, have a constant safe discharge for reprocessing. I'll probably say it thrice more in this video. Speaking of reprocessing, okay, we have black tektite. Black tektite is a storm elemental product of a meteorite hitting sand, vaporizing that into a volcanic glass technically, but it carries the cosmic impact jolt of that intensive extraterrestrial frequency, which produces a very powerful meteoric energy that can course through primarily the Earth star, since it's black ray, Earth stars all the way through chocolate column, making a very powerful Kundalini full light body resonant activation in tandem with all these different frequencies, obviously. And the lovely stone to have like the bottom up intense fortification of the light body filter, going up like so to really put one in touch with their true cosmic essence, but luckily from a black ray ground up perspective. This right here is a star argonite, not quite a cluster, but it's actually a shard I removed from a larger cluster to put it into this device. Star argonite is a calcium-based light body clearing activator. So argonite actually stimulates the entire chakra column and any kind of very intrusive breaks or patterns in the field get rapidly cleared and stitched with the calcium matrix to have the full light-body template fully activated in unison. And it's also a very effective frequency for augmenting the skeletal bone structures by having the high calcium density of clearing that actually will strengthen the physical bone skeletal structure, which is the most dense part of our carbon-based bodies, so that that kind of light can anchor to the bones, could be an internalized radiation out of that higher frequency of one's crystalline nature. And I believe actually that surprisingly concludes this long-winded description of this lovely little talisman named Sovereign. So in tandem, in conclusion, with everything going on with this entire complex device, it's designed to have a very strong, stabilized lower 3 full spectrum emanation through the entire chakra column to anchor light body, as well as, most importantly for the namesake, to keep the sovereignty of one's truest, highest self in a template format to shield them from any interference that the internal, external world can produce that would obscure one from their sovereign truth of who they are in creation, in service to creation. Because obviously, all of us pitiful two-leggeds, humans incarnate, we've come here for a good reason. So this, in summary, is designed to keep one's template, the wielder of this device, in their sovereign nature as they go about the journey of life. And may this device serve them well as they serve creation, as all technology passes through my hands into distribution. And that would be Sovereign on a video and in a nutshell. Well, 1,000 blessings, and I pray everybody has a wonderful day.